interesting, especially for us women. Ladies, don't forget to wear the shoes. There will be glass all over from the ceiling you just shattered. Do you think if you have to do something for 20 years straight, you'd be okay with it? Or you'd be able to break away from it easily if I asked you to change it overnight or something like that? 20 years. Yes, you heard me right. 20 years, guys. That's a good amount of time in which people either get too comfortable or think it's just too late. But our today's story is about it's never too late. Today, we would be uncovering an interesting story, I would say an amazing story and a journey of a woman, a mother, an entrepreneur, and a go getter. Married at an early age by choice. Gave up a professional career to become a full time homemaker. That too by choice. And when the time clicked, she didn't think twice to give wings to her dreams. Living and making the right choices, her choices, whatever they've been. That's the story we have today with us to share about Miss Kiran Kalra, founder of an upcoming fashion clothes brand, The Coveted, who started with small steps from the streets of Bengaluru and is all set to amaze the world as she grows. Hey, hi Kiran, how are you?
Hi, Nupur. Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome. And it's amazing. You've just got me emotional thinking about the whole journey. Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. It's completely my pleasure because I can't tell you how excited I am as a woman, as a lady, uh, to take your story to the world. I can't tell you the excitement and the happiness with which I am going to take today's interview. So let's get started because there's so much I want to be shared today. So for my viewers who are just wondering what can it be, I'll say just wait and watch. So Kiran, 20 years is what you dedicated to your family, to your children, to your home. And I can just think about it, right? As an individual, I cannot ever imagine even taking such a step. So how could you, or how, why, what was it that went in that you were like, okay, let me take this call, let me do this?
Okay. Going back 20 years, I would say it wasn't easy. It was, in fact, really difficult. I completely understand how new mothers feel when they have to give up their jobs. The guilt you go through from, leaving your children back at home, working, because I tried that. I won't deny that. I did, but the guilt of leaving them was so much more higher than the guilt of not working. So it was a decision that I made, and once I made that decision, I decided I'm going to enjoy being a mother, and I'm going to have fun doing that. So that was how it all began.
So amidst all these responsibilities, as irrespective of what people and everyone thinks, I can vouch for that fact that, you know what, being a homemaker is not an easy task. I always say that, you know what, I fail. That's a statement I usually take. I fail trying to balance
I
out.
think failure is a very strong word, and I try to not use failure in my dictionary at all for anything. So I think as women, especially, and especially as homemakers, housewives, failure
Mhm.
is definitely not the word that we need to use.
Okay, thank you for that tip. So, okay, let me then say that amidst all of that, because that's actually a full time job that you are into, how did you manage to keep that passion of yours alive, being an entrepreneur or that dream of yours? Just tell us something about it.
So I will admit that while I was being a full-time mom, obviously, if you're a mother, you don't have time to think about anything else. You're giving it your all. But once children start growing older, and then you start thinking, okay, what now? Children are going to go into college. Children, get away from home, and then you start wondering, what is my life going to turn out to be like? And
Mhm.
once you're thinking that, and once you on that path, there is this
Just.
craving. At least I had this craving,
Mhm.
a huge desire that I had to do something in this lifetime, and if I don't do it now, it's probably never going to happen. So yeah, when my son decided to join college, that's when I decided I have to do something, and that's something. Obviously, at that point, I didn't know what, but yeah,
Okay.
it was like you said, baby steps, and that's where we began.
No, that's really nice because somewhere, as you mentioned, you were able to clutch onto that dream of yours that okay, right now I'm prioritizing my family and my children, but yes, there is something that I would like to do. So that's really nice because I see, I read, I observe that many times because we are not talking about 5 years break, 10 years break, or even for that matter of fact, 15 years break. We are talking for almost 2 decades. So things change and still you were able to hold on to it. Commendable. That's just what I would like to say. So Kiran, help me understand. Don't at any point of time you regret that, you know what, I wish I could have done things differently, or do you regret any of the decisions that you take?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, at this point, I feel I've done it the right way, and I'm proud to say I did it the right way. I don't think I want to have it any other way. When you said that, 10 years, 20 years, we kind of, honestly, I'll tell you, we feel rusted and we
Mhm.
lose our confidence
Yeah.
going up there and trying to find a job for ourselves. So it
Mhm.
is really difficult. But like you said, the desire, I mean, and like I said earlier, the desire just came in so strong
Mhm.
after 20 years. So I'd like to say very specifically, it doesn't matter. I always say, even for your dressing sense, age is just a number. If you can carry off what you're wearing, you must. You even a 40-year-old woman or a 50-year-old woman wants to be seen in a short dress or shorts. Why not? And the same thing with your career. I mean, there is
Mhm.
no age limit or time limit. You want to do it, you can do it at any point. And I guess that's what I did.
That's lovely. That's lovely. And you know what? I can vouch for this fact because the moment we are talking about women, everything just get a bit more stereotyped. So well said. And I wish everybody could think on the similar lines because at the end of the day, it's my choice. And I'm really so happy to see that somebody is taking their own stand. They're taking their own decisions. And it's like you really don't care about what anybody else would be thinking because I'm sure uh, there might would have been a lot of people maybe who would have just said that oh it's just too late, why are you just being crazy. So okay, we'll keep that thing or those things aside, but why the Coveted? How did all that start? Tell us something about that.
So coveted happened to me because obviously, fashion came to me easily. And I always believed that something would come to me. Like I said, I didn't know what that something was till
Mhm.
overnight, this idea came to me that, um, well, I was known for, being well dressed and having a good sense of fashion. And that's all I knew. So I wanted to pursue that. I wanted to see if, I could explore options in the line of fashion.
Mhm.
It comes with no formal background. It just comes with, I would say, practical exposure, experience over the years that I was a mom, I was a wife, I was, traveling. And
Mhm.
that's how Coveted came to me. And then it was a small idea, and we just grew from there.
Wow. So that's interesting, Kiran. And I think you made one of the best choices. You already had a good command or you had a good fashion sense. And I can totally agree with it, right? So you try to make one of your fortes or one of your passions your profession. So if you would like to share, I think it would be interesting for people, women, men who are planning to do something maybe after a pause or maybe otherwise as well. If you would like to share about the hustle you went through, what type of preparation, research you did, how you started, or what were those baby steps you took to make things this big as they are today?
It's funny how my husband says that he or maybe even I can write a book on how I started a whole company on my iPhone. And
Okay.
yeah, there was a I will say there was a whole lot of research.
Mhm.
I already had a bunch of brands that I personally liked for myself.
Mhm.
And I did a lot of research of those brands and so many more new brands that were available in the market and the
Okay.
brands that I wanted to bring into the country. And
Mhm.
obviously, it wasn't something that came on a platter because at the end of the day, you are representing those brands.
I
And
agree.
I had to convince them how that I was starting off a business at this point and how
Mhm.
passionate I was and how rightly I would represent them in a country outside theirs.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's how obviously you would understand the kind of persuasion and the kind of research would have gone into something like that. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing because I was eating, sleeping, drinking, everything coveted at that point.
Oh, that's nice because I feel you need that craziness, or I would say that dedication to make something work. And it's not easy. One thing I have heard with all the interactions we've had through the means of That's My Story and otherwise also, doing some thorough research actually helps you lay the right foundation for whatever venture you're getting into.
Yeah, so while we're talking about the research, I must mention something really interesting. I'm sure this may inspire a few other people of as to how I went about my research. I'm just giving you one particular example. There was this particular brand that I so loved and I so wanted to bring into India, and my conversation with their executive, their representative was just going nowhere, and it was really frustrating for me because she thought we were just not good enough for them and not capable enough to handle their brand. And I did bring that brand through a middle person, but I must say
Okay.
I wanted to obviously bring it directly from them. So I did a research about who the owners were, who the complete history about that company, and I actually found them. Thanks to social media, it makes the world so much smaller. So I
Yeah.
found the owners on Facebook and I messaged them, giving them a history about what I was planning to do and what are the other brands that who had agreed to come into India with us. And I wrote them a message. And you know how on Facebook the messenger it goes into spam when you are not friends.
Yes.
And to my surprise, after about 4 or 5 months, she finally, when she did read my mail message, she messaged me right back saying, "Hey, we would love to do this, and this is the owner." And that's the
Oh,
best
okay.
part. Yeah,
That's
so that's
lovely.
the best. I know, right? So this is the best part. You're dealing with executives who don't understand the importance or don't understand your passion. But here's the owner who's obviously passionate about her work and understands where the other person's passion is coming from. So yeah, so that's how we managed to get them into India. And yeah, so I think I'm pretty proud of this story, and which is why I'm sharing it with you.
No, no, that's a wonderful story, and you know what? I can understand, and you know, it's a fact that an entrepreneur would be able to appreciate another entrepreneurial spirit much better than an employee. And sometimes, not only with regard to this, many times it's said no that things get lost in the conversation or in different mediums. So, Kiran, we've been talking so much about Coveted, how you started off, but I'm sure as a woman, or I would say as an individual, if you are planning to start off something suddenly after being not connected or being professionally active, support is really important, especially from family, friends, so as to start off somewhere because many times you might just question yourself or something like that. So tell us about that part. How was the reaction of your family? Who all did you discuss this idea with? How did that go?
So, like I said, overnight, I came up with this, and then I made a little small group on WhatsApp with two other girls who I
Okay.
believed were somewhere looking to do something as well, and who were
Okay.
close enough for me to be able to work with them. So I messaged them saying, "Hey girls," I even called the WhatsApp group "Business Opportunity" or something like that. And then I messaged them saying, "Hey, yeah." So I messaged them saying, "This is something I want to do. Do you girls want to be a part of it?" Of course, one of them had too much and she declined, and the other one, who is my partner now, Amreen Wasim,
Okay.
um, jumped in, said, she didn't even wait for me to explain what I was going to do or what idea I had. She jumped in saying, "I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in." And that kind of support she extends to me even now after 3 years. She's like my backbone.
That's nice. And I think that's the best part of it, the entire story or the entire journey. Because if you've got already a soulmate as far as this work arena is concerned, you're sorted because you have somebody who would be there to share with you, discuss with you, take care of you if you're following, or maybe just give you the push if you need that. And
Absolutely.
that's really nice. And what about your family?
And
Like, what about your husband, your relatives? That's your friends, I'm sure. So, wasn't your husband one of the choices, or tell us something about that as well?
so I did. Obviously, we finished, a yoga class. I remember very clearly walking down
Okay.
towards the car, and I broke the news to him, saying, "So this is what I want to do. This is what I'm planning to do." And I wasn't asking him. I was telling him that this is what I'm going to do. And
Okay.
I must say, he was very excited because he himself is an entrepreneur and very hardworking. So
Okay.
he was very excited about it, but of course he wanted me to do it in a certain way, do a
Hmm.
research, do the whole, the market study and stuff like that. And for me, it was like I knew what I wanted to do, and I just wanted to do it. So it was something that came from within, from the core, and yeah. So my family supported me pretty well.
Dashwood, that's really fortunate to hear because many times we do come across challenges where the first battle somebody has to win is against their family. And it somewhere increases a bit if it's a woman. So I'm really glad to hear that your husband was always game. And I'm sure with his being into this profession, he would have guided you in the best manner possible. That's really
Absolutely.
amazing. That's really amazing to hear.
Yeah, and being married to an entrepreneur for 20 years, somewhere down the line, whether you like it or not, you just learn that journey. It rubs off. And
Hmm.
from our conversations, so I think I learned a lot from him. And
Hmm.
the challenge was actually in my mind, where my thought process was, okay, my older son is off to college, but my younger
Hmm.
son is still here. And would I do justice to him? Would I be able to do justice to him? But obviously, I kind of, I was able to talk myself into believing that I would handle it. And I must say, I was able to definitely handle it. Even after I started Coveted, I was picking up and dropping my son from school,
Okay.
taking him for his classes. My meetings revolved around his timings of, school, his timings of football, whatever. So I think I didn't have to stop as being a full-time mom to him as well.
I think that's really nice. And one thing I am definitely taking away from this conversation, and I'm a bit envious, or I would say this is one thing for me to learn from you is trying to maintain a balance between your personal and a professional life. And hats off that you're still managing it beautifully. So not only me, I'm sure through us, a lot of us or a lot of women, men can take it as one of the things that you know what you need not be hopelessly into only one thing. You can always juggle different balls and trying to maintain a balance.
Like you said, the right word is balancing.
Yeah.
It's the balancing act. And if you can do that, then half your problems are sorted in life.
Exactly. So, Kiran, we came across the fact that not only
Hmm.
coveted, you are trying to empower women around, and not only empowering them, trying to appreciate them, supporting them through your different endeavors. So, why don't you elaborate a bit on that?
Okay, so obviously now that you know my story, you know where this is coming from. I'm Me and Amreen both are passionately involved with trying to, this whole empowering movement. We decided through work, we met a lot of women who've done really wonders for themselves, and we
Yeah.
would have never known unless we had a one-on-one with them. And it was amazing how they've climbed the ladder, and we just wanted to reach out to our clients and give them that kind of appreciation that we know a lot of women who've put in that hard work would love. So, which is why we started something called the Women Empowering Women Awards,
Oh,
annually
wow.
recognizing women from different fields. A lot of them were our clients directly because that's how we got to know of their achievements. And so, yeah, that's how we started the Women Empowering Women Awards. There were women from the modeling world. There was an actress. There was, a CEO whose company got bought out. Yeah, so they were, it wasn't just the fashion world. While we believe that we want to empower women through fashion, we definitely want to empower women through empower and appreciate women through these awards.
That's an amazing thought. And I would say, in a way, you're giving back to the people around you, and especially women. And I feel somewhere it's it's more of an observation. We fail to acknowledge a lot that women do. And what I read, what I see, there has been lots of ameliorations done in the society on all possible aspects, but still there's a huge gap between men and women, which we women are trying to cover as much or as quickly as possible. So these things
Mhm.
I feel would definitely help, because there is someone who is appreciating what effort somebody is putting in. So really not.
Right. And through these awards, we're just not appreciating, we're sharing their story on social
That's
media.
nice.
So, right, so on
Wow.
Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So there's so many more people reading about these women, just like how we had no clue about them and their journey. Um, they didn't either, but then our effort was to obviously get their story out there.
Wow, wow. I think I am definitely going to reach out to them for our platform as well. So thanks for that tip. So,
Yeah.
Kiran, we're talking about work, we're talking about life, we're talking about family, but can't omit the question around 2020, right? That's a dear pandemic year. So,
Right.
something about 2020. How did this year treat you? Um, was there an impact on the business, or how did you guys manage the impact? Or were you able to contribute something to people around you? Something around 2020 is what I would like to understand.
I must say, initially, when 2020 hit us and we went into lockdown, it was difficult emotionally because we are, at the end of the day, a startup. And when something like this hits you, you don't know what hit you, right? You
I
are going
agree.
through anger, you're going through frustration, you're going through sadness. So there was an emotional roller coaster up and down, which thankfully, from being a very positive person myself through my life, uh, was able to get over that and get through that and immediately bounce back. And while we were sitting around, we pretty much doing nothing, obviously during lockdown and businesses coming to a standstill, we decided we'll, do whatever we can to help out. If not anything else, then it's a good thing if we can help someone. And that's when a friend approached me about helping him out with distributing reusable sanitary napkins.
Okay.
I jumped to it. Yeah, yeah. So I jumped to this opportunity, and again, thanks to social media, within one day, was able to raise a lot of funds for this initiative. So
That's really
what
nice.
like yeah, so we made got these made through our manufacturers. We got these reusable cloth sanitary napkins made, and we've distributed it to women, for, from the slums, from um, migrants. Sorry, to migrants, and women stuck in containment zones, women working in the containment zones. That is through the BBMP, and I must say we've been able to continue that effort right now. I don't know how long we can take it forward. Of course, we will need a lot of support if we need to take this forward. But yeah, we have continued to do that till date.
That's a beautiful concept you guys are working on, and I wish long may it continue. Fingers crossed. So I really hope that this support from people around can continue and it keeps on pouring in, so that you guys get that confidence and you guys continue on this journey, because I'm sure not only you are supporting the women with the sanitary napkins, you're also in a way giving some sort of employment to the people around. And pandemic has impacted everybody in some shape and form. So it's
Right.
a wonderful thing that you guys are doing, and I really appreciate and praise you for this particular effort.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, no, that's amazing. So, can you tell me something? You've been a homemaker. Then, when you realized you want to begin something of your own, you got into a professional world, and you are doing great. But I'm sure you would have uncovered lots of aspects of being a woman or being a female. So what's your take on the meaning of feminism? If I have to say that, what would be your suggestion, your guidance for women around, suggesting them about taking control of their life? What would that be?
For me, I would say it begins from home.
Mm-hmm.
It is something that our daughters need to be taught, something that the confidence that we parents need to give our daughters, that they know less than boys. There has to be no comparison. And that's where I think the journey of being a true woman, being a strong woman begins. And I think it's, like I said, it's on to us as parents, how we guide our daughters.
Wow. I so agree with this because, it's much easier said than done. Um, Giving your daughters and your sons the same upbringing, giving them the same confidence and the same capability to take decisions, take control of their lives. I really hope people listen or take this particular point from this conversation today.
I hope so too, because I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, equality. What is this whole thing about feminism, and it's all about equality. And if it doesn't start at home, where you give equal preference and equal choices to your children, um, you know, children are going to get lost when they grow old.
Agreed. Agreed. So, Kiran, you've been a homemaker, and that too, you were a homemaker by choice for 20 years, 2 decades. Then, when you realized your calling, you didn't take long, and yeah, we got the Coveted. So, would you like to share something that how somebody can maintain a balance between work and their personal lives? To all the women, men out there, because you are juggling the two balls beautifully, if I have to put it that way.
I would say that, honestly, initially I was scared how I would balance it out. But I must say, like I said before, I was doing whatever I was doing, uh, being a mother before Coveted happened to me. And life continued exactly the same way. It's just that Coveted got added on. And I was able to create that balance because that's the balance I wanted to create. So I wanted to make sure that, I gave priority to everything in my life. And yeah, that's exactly how I did it. And it wasn't just work taking over my life, or it wasn't just my son taking over my life. It was completely balanced.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I am really getting envious and moving towards jealousy. And somehow it starts to happen so often with me nowadays because the ease with which you are saying prioritize balance, it's not that easy. I can vouch for that fact. But yes,
No, it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. If you really want to do it, you can do it. Believe me, trust me.
no, so that's the learning I am talking about because if you want to do it, you can do it. It's not a Pandora box that once it's open, everything would be messed up. It is something
Absolutely.
totally
And another
the
thing,
palm of an individual.
and another thing that COVID, I'm sure, has taught everybody, not just me, is that life doesn't have to be rushed. Slow down, enjoy what you're doing, and you don't have to do everything in one day. It's okay if you, being a perfectionist, sometimes it annoys me, but then I think I've learned that you don't have to do everything in one day. It's okay to take it forward, but just be mentally stable, mentally, conditioned to be able to take on more work, to be able to do more stuff, and do justice to everything that you're doing.
Well said. And thank you for that advice because it's really important. I feel in that maddening rush, we just try to do everything or accomplish everything in the single go. So it's really important for us to pace out our journey in a way that we can enjoy the journey while we are trying to reach our destination. Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that tip, Kiran. I am definitely keeping a note of it. I don't know about others, but I am definitely keeping a note of it. So, while I would love this conversation to go on and on, Kiran, unfortunately, we are towards the conclusion. So, I would personally request if you would like to give any advice or if you would like to share anything that you think would be helpful for women like us, like you, or even men for that matter of fact, who are contemplating what to do or to be or not to be, if I have to say it that way. So, anything you would like to share with them?
I would think, I would say all of us have this desire, has have this passion to do something. Sometimes it gets lost, especially when you have children. That gets lost, you get lost. But that's okay. I mean, it happens to everybody, and that's okay. That's okay to be in that space. At some point in life, that desire will come back to you. That's when you grab it, and you don't let it pass by you. And opportunities will come throughout your life. There will be opportunities thrown at you. You must grab all of them. I keep telling my children that grab all the opportunities that come to are thrown at you. Two of them, maybe even one of them, may work out of those 10, but it's still worth it. So I think that is what I would say.
With each and every conversation point that we had today, there was so much to learn from you, Kiran. And I really hope that the viewers enjoyed the conversation as much as I did. And I hope the same for you. So thank you so much, Kiran.
I completely enjoyed this conversation with you. And I really hope, like many women have inspired us, I hope this inspires, the younger lot, the younger girls out there, and the
Yeah.
women out there who think they're stuck in the whole process of being a homemaker or a housewife.
So thank you again, Kiran. I really wish Coveted all the success in the world. I really, really do. So thank you once again, and I wish you all the luck.
Thank you. I wish you luck as well. Thank you so much.